everyone, we are back here on Economisters, and today we are going to address a rather debatable topic. McDonald's opened its door here in Vietnam in 2014, hoping to expand more in the Eastern market. Welcomed with high reception, but the McLovin' brand has lost steam ever since. So today's main question is, should McDonald's exist here in Vietnam? I myself know a bit about economics, but I should ask a friend of mine to help. So to help me answer that question today, I have my friend. He is an economics guru, he is a successful CEO, and he is an all-round expert in the economy. Sam Ram.
Nice to meet you, Timmy. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, tell me a bit about yourself, Sam.
Alright, once again, it's my honor to be on this show. At the moment, I'm the CEO of the company named TENKS, which is short for Tanks, where we invest all our money in stock market, diversified in a great portion of values. And we just currently invest a lot of money in current fast food chains such as McDonald's. And as an economist, I believe Vietnam has been doing really great so far by giving more opportunities for the international corporation to come to invest and increase the competitiveness of the market, which is certainly a good thing.
Okay, I know about economy a thing or two, but I must ask, how is the Vietnamese GDP, and how is the Vietnamese GDP with the inclusion of fast food chains such as KFC, McDonald's, Burger King?
Like I said, Vietnam has been doing great so far. So talking on GDP, our national growth has gradually increases in a steady rate since the 1990s. And the increase of GDP is accounted for different aspects, such as government issues, government spending, consumer investment, and of course international investment. And GDP, our country has significantly increased during the 21st century because our nation has opened the door for many more opportunities for international businesses to come and invest. So during this time, the door is open for every company, and McDonald's is one of the international business that invest and franchises in Vietnam.
Okay, well, so far we've talked about the GDP in Vietnam, but how do you think of the McDonald's performance in Vietnam so far?
All right, let me 1 second to think about it. Indeed, at the moment, the company, like we know, we're talking an issue, the company is really struggling in the Vietnamese market. So what is really shocked by all the investors, the publishers, and the authors. And as you know, it's quite during other places in the Southeast Asia, like Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, they were successful. But while in Vietnam, it's not. But however, our economists have predicted the struggles of the McDonald's in Vietnam for certain reasons. And economists like myself is not surprised. So talking back to your questions, there are two reasons that are accounted for the successful of McDonald's. I think that the two reasons that affect from that is the price of the culture. First, the price of food are much more expensive than Vietnamese food. Like, you know, the average Vietnamese food, the average McDonald's cost is around $3. While think about this, while all the GDP of Vietnam per capita is only make around 100,000, which is around $5 a day. So talking about the budget, which is really affects of the people decisions that come to buy to fast food. So most of them, they don't have that budget. And not only that, especially Vietnamese culture plays a really important role as well. While according to Forbes, our statistics show that when Vietnamese people come out to eat, 99% of them, they go to the market or the Vietnamese restaurant, and only 1% of the time people come and consume food and fast food. At the moment, the culture and the price comes into effect that affects the McDonald's business. And these are the two factors that really result how the amount of McDonald's was opened. Like, is it really noticeable? Like, McDonald's opened 35,000 stores worldwide, but there's only, at the most, they only struggle around like 15 stores in Vietnam, which doesn't meet his expectancy.
Now that we've established the fact that McDonald's is not doing so well in Vietnam, not being that successful at all, you, as someone who is very openly supporting about McDonald's, do you think McDonald's should stay in Vietnam?
All right, definitely. In this competitive, situation in the world, our country has doing really great, giving chances for international companies such as McDonald's to invest and start a business. And this greatly contributes, to our national growth. And not only it will give consumers, like our people ourselves, have more opportunities, have more choices in their lives, and we as the consumers are really clearly benefit from that. And there are certain economic principles that the company applies to help into the market, which is incentive, where they themselves bring benefits to the people, and at the same time they make the trade market coordinate much better and make people more opportunities for the decisions. While back then, in my childhood, when I was young, I will remember that when I was around 15, when Coke first came to Vietnam, I was really surprised because back then there's only a few certain companies in Vietnam, like PepsiCo, where they just dominated. But when Pepsi came and KFC came, they gave us free drinks and access, and we really enjoyed that time. And that was the moment after that Vietnam was really globalized, and it was the factor that started to grow strong in Vietnamese economy itself. And you can see that it certainly benefits. And look at where it is now.
I, though, however, would like to bring up this brand, Foster beer. Can we have like a photo of this here? Okay. So the situation for Foster's beer was that it was extremely popular in other countries everywhere and around the world. In 1998, they tried to expand its brand to Vietnam. It had really high hopes. I still vaguely remember it. Like I think I tried to went out and buy one back then. But just in under 10 years, they decided to retreat all products. The supposed reason was that it didn't appeal to the Vietnamese tongue, the Vietnamese taste. Its slogan was that it was the Australian-styled beer. Do you think Vietnam will follow along these tire treads here in Vietnam, knowing that the Vietnamese people are really proud of what they have, and having something that proclaims another brand, they would not work?
I see. All right. Let me have a moment to think. All right. Indeed, my economic peers and myself have came up to this question, and we have previously thought about this, and for the theory we have came into two sides, which is sustainable and sustainable. Which is sustainable is they can continue their business in a certain circumstance, while unsustainable is they have to stop and withdraw from that. And well, we have thought carefully, and we believe that McDonald's will be on the sustainable side, which backs to the question that McDonald's can be still successful in Vietnam, and it can certainly happen in this situation when McDonald's is really successful worldwide, which is one of the biggest brands in fast food that everyone knows of. And I believe the McDonald's coordinator, manager are really smart enough people, and that they can adjust the price of Vietnamese culture that can help sustainable this situation. And as you read recently, like you might have known that McDonald's has just added their meals, really brand new meals to their menu, which is rice, which I believe help to cultivate the taste, the culture state of Vietnamese. And also I've thought about this, that KFC indeed, when I say KFC is really successful at the moment now, that you can see there's around over 100 stores that's open in Vietnam. And it was the same thing when KFC first came. It was struggle to the first 3 years when Vietnamese was really struggle with the cost when we just opened internationally, and especially the price at the same time the meal was not different. And especially the unique thing about the KFC did really well is they changed the taste of their meal. And indeed, the taste in America was much different from the taste in Vietnam, where they seasoned it suitable for the Vietnamese taste. And I think McDonald's will do the same. It will become far in the future.
Wow. Sam, can I ask? You probably look at the stocks every day, every morning, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. May I ask, how are the McDonald's stocks at the moment?
All right, I'll check right now. I believe it's doing so well. So according to one of the network is NASDQ, McDonald's doing so great, doing really great so far. Where at the moment, during this week recently, it increases up to 5% every week. And we are the economists suggest people to. It's a really good time as the McDonald's market is in a bull market, and well, it's a really good time for us to invest money in and hope to get money back in the future. It's doing really great so far.
Now, its performance in the Western market should not be questioned at all. We all know that it's like a giant in the market. But what do you think is its contribution to the Asian market, though?
All right, so like I said, McDonald's have 50,000 units, stores in the world, to the worldwide, but like 15,000 in there, like domestically in that country, and 35,000 internationally, like I said. And the really special thing is that out of 35,000 stores worldwide, Asia is like more than around 50,000, which contributes a lot. And my economic peers have searched deep into there, and indeed like the profit that McDonald's gained from the international corporations was contribute 40% only from Asia, which I believe is a really great portion. And keep in mind that Europe, or the parts of Europe, like Oceania in Australia, McDonald's was open worldwide, but Asia was one of the really dominant countries. And I believe one of the most dominant ones are in Japan or Thailand, very dominant.
Okay, now we are in this part of the show where we invite people on the show. We have their expert opinion, hoping they would like challenge our guest speakers.
Oh, okay.
So, to have an expert opinion, I decided to bring someone in. She is the epitome of being on the ground and experiencing this whole thing. Please welcome to the show, Miss Ang.
Oh, hello, Timmy and Sam. So honored to be on the show.
Welcome to the show. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you believe in.
Yes, my name is An. But people around this area used to call me Yibai 5 years ago. As you can see, I have been here long enough to get that nickname. And people love my beef noodle soup. However, due to old age, I can't continue this vendor work every day. Then I became an expert in street food at home. From what I have noticed, Vietnamese people prefer local food or street food rather than anything else. They are not the type of accepting fast food culture with light seasoning and pretty much greasy, since Vietnamese food is full of spice, rustic taste, and served with many types of sauce. So, when it's time for some snacks, and 90% of Vietnamese people would choose to stop at street vendors or local families' business corners rather than a Western fast food store like McDonald's. To add on, Vietnamese customers tend to prefer cheap and small portion that will make them feel full for long term, like sticky rice and rice flour cakes. But McDonald's goes against their market dining habits, with heavy, greasy, and high-cost meal that might make we immediately feel full, yet only in the short term. Therefore, in my opinion, McDonald's is not worth and unnecessary in our country due to its high cost, unhealthiness, and difference from our dining habits.
Thanks, Sam, as an economist, culture and personal reasonings aren't really the top of your priority, is it?
Alright, no, I really respect for her opinion. I certainly believe her circumstance, but I personally do not agree with it at all. So McDonald's is a symbol of a foreign company that should expand and we continue to invest in Vietnam and develop. This is one of the symbol that can consider that. And the company, like I said, greatly increases the nation's GDP, economic growth, and like I said, benefit the consumers by increasing their benefit where they have more choices to decide on the market. And in short, it's really beneficial. And why not just let them have more chance to take their time to expand the business?
But Sam, don't you think the company should really think about it after all? Because the consumers are literally the ones paying, the ones that are giving these companies, these giant companies, the money to their pocket.
I see. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with the company. The business certainly do not affect, like the tradition, the Vietnamese tradition, cultures and reasonings, or the economics. Because in this modern world, the global diversity, the globalization is really important, necessary. And I just want to stop there.
Thanks, Sam, for the opinion. But you must know your customer. They are one of the pickiest people in the world in terms of flavor and taste. They tend to be close to what they have grown with, their memories, their childhood. Thus, Asian people like to share food in their family dinners, but the service didn't meet that tradition. Maybe children would be your target customer, but without the parent favor, you lose the target too, right? So that's why for me the range of Vietnamese people choose your company as a dining station is a count on fingertips. Talking about global diversity you have mentioned before, Insect on its own have many restaurants that serve different foreign cuisines and each deliver well all the culture taste to Vietnamese people. Therefore, you are not the only case and only company who desire to bring something new to us. But to be stand out and be chosen in terms of taste, I'm afraid your company did not success attracting your customers, and soon we're gonna fail in this country's market.
To reinforce Ang's statement, I have decided to bring in a second guest. He is an expat, an activist, and an all-round nice guy. Welcome to the show, Koki.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show. My name is Koki and I'm 35 years old. It's such a pleasure to be here. First, I grew up in the US. McDonald's was always on me and that's what I ate and grew up with. Back then I weighed 100 kilograms and a year ago I came to Vietnam. I stayed away from McDonald's or other fast food restaurants and I lost 30 kilograms in a year. From my experience, I disagree with having McDonald's in Vietnam because it can bring obesity among Vietnamese citizens, I believe. Fast foods aren't as healthy as the local foods. Furthermore, the commodity price is much lower. 2 or 3 local foods can be bought for one burger. They are all with low price and varying types of foods like banh mi, pho, soga, etc. Whereas fast foods are all oily things, and I think it's hard for the company to bring further cultural influence and impact since having traditional foods as a daily meal is something already habitual, and McDonald's won't reach a satisfactory price for the citizens in such low commodity price country.
Thanks, Koki. Sam, McDonald's are not really healthy, and in some cases, I have found some I will show to the audience later, it can lead people to major decisions to health. Seems like the local food and cultures are blocking McDonald's as well.
Alright, Timmy, for this part, I completely understand you. Even health scientists and health nutritionists, state and researchers say that consuming fast foods too much, will affect our health. And there's certainly one of the most things is obesity. And consuming it too much, it's not good at all. And fast food is certainly not a really healthy food. It's considered as a junk food.
Okay, I have been throwing too many curveballs at you. Sam, to give you a break, I am introducing you to my friend Nico. Nicholas is an outstanding student. 4.0 GPA, a task is extremely into extracurricular activities and he loves economics. Nico, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Timmy. It's such an honor to be here in this show. My name is Nicholas, you can call me Nick. I'm 15 years old and I'm currently a student at the American School of Vietnam, located in District 2. Well, as a kid, my family was healthy and living in a country with such a rich culture and ingredient of flavors. I was impressed with how my country used the flavor and ingredients to create and make a lot of great dishes. But right now, when I have grown up, things here are just getting too familiar for me. As you can see, all the kids around the world, in my opinion, they have one dream. One is to experience new things. And yes, I am a normal kid like other kids. I have a dream to experience things from different cultures. One of the things that I always want to experience is food from all around the world. And thanks to my family, I got the chance to use that healthy and travel to a lot of different places to try different food. And in my opinion, most of the places I have been to have a common things. It's a very famous fast food brand is McDonald's. McDonald's is a fast food restaurant that can be found in over 100 countries, over 195 countries in the world. McDonald's is a restaurant that where you can eat when you are in a rush. You can buy very good fries, burgers or chicken. As I said earlier, I want to try a new experience, so I tried it. And a thought came in my mind, this is what my country needed. During 15 years living in Vietnam, I have noticed that kids here, I have noticed that citizens in Vietnam spend a lot of money and their times on fast food, and especially teenagers, someone like me, and kid and officer worker. Now McDonald's have finally arrived in Vietnam. I think this is an opportunity for my country to improve our economics.
Thank you, Nicholas. What do you think? Personally, why do you think exposing Vietnam in Western culture is a good idea?
Okay, in my school, we have just recently been exposed to the old Vietnamese economic campaign Đổi mới. This occurred in 1986. It opened up for a free market and attract foreign investor. Ever since we opened up for a free market, it has no doubt been steady up and coming market for us.
I see your point. Indeed, Vietnam is one of the less developed countries, and further cultural influence by other countries like Europe can contribute to economic growth. But McDonald's isn't really helping much. Obviously, it's a big company that has been expanding among hundreds of countries, but looking at Vietnam, their business result isn't very good. Despite the goal of having 100 stores in 10 years, starting from 2014, there are only 17 stores by now, which has been 4 years. There are many factors to this, which includes diverse local restaurants anywhere on streets and cultural differences, rival companies, and the commodity price. If this continues on a trend, there is no doubt McDonald's will pull out of the Vietnamese market.
Yes, I know that McDonald's has set a goal for having 100 stores in 10 years, but as you can already know, Vietnamese is a small country. We don't have much space due to the very large number of citizens. I agree that we have only 17 stores. It's not even close to like one fourth of the goal that McDonald's have set. But in 17 stores, we have over 6,000 consumers. You gotta admit that's a very big and huge number. One of the main factors that I think why McDonald's will become success in Vietnam because of the foreigners. So throughout the past year, we could see that the number of foreigners coming to Vietnam is a very large numbers. And yes, McDonald's is a famous brand that most of the countries in the world have. So I think McDonald's is something that could probably remind foreigners about their homelands. And there are something that foreigners can, and sometimes I can see some foreigners cannot eat some food from Vietnam. So I think they need McDonald's.
Is it really something that's easy for like local people to get out of their like habit food? Think about it. Yes, there are many fast food restaurants in Vietnam and many people go there. But you should know as well about the disparity of wealth in Vietnam. Some are poor and some are rich. They can't afford to have fast foods and are already satisfied with their local food. McDonald's burgers are up to double or triple the price of Vietnam local foods. And I am from America and I rarely go to McDonald's in here. I am sure this goes for the other foreigners as well. Foreigners had increased a lot in Vietnam, and these people also want to try the new taste of the Vietnamese food, like you said that you want to try the fast foods from Europe. It doesn't really necessarily have to be McDonald's, you know. We can just make some on our own as well from our perspective.
Okay, I see what your point here, but have to look in the factor that Vietnamese local food is something that is not healthy at all. Because after 15 years living in Vietnam, I have witnessed and heard some very bad news about street food and local food in Vietnam. Some like unhealthy food, unbranded food, And in the past couple of weeks, there's the news saying that mooncake brand called bánh trung thu Long Đình. The news stated that this mooncake brand used ingredient from China with a very low quality and cost only like 22k for 1 kilograms. I'm not saying that all Vietnamese brands are bad, but we need something to make foreigners stay and work so we could improve our economics.
In terms of health issues, I believe fast foods are worse. Fast foods are high in fats. If people continuously eat it, they could be obese like I was. And in the motherland of these foods, which is US, 1 in 4 eats some sort of fast foods almost every day. This is about 80 million people. It's a lot. This results to almost 50% of US citizens being obese. Why is obesity bad? Because it can lead to stroke, heart disease, and diabetes. To this, McDonald's is one of the biggest factors. This factor has expanded to countries like Japan, and it hasn't really affected their health much. It's because Japan has advanced medical technologies, and less people tend to be overweight. On the other hand, Vietnam is less developed in medical wise as well. So right now there isn't much stores, but if it does increase, it means more people are going to McDonald's. This means that the risk of Vietnamese citizens being overweight or obese will increase. To prevent this, further expansions of the store should not happen.
Anything else, Nico?
Yes. Another reason why McDonald's should exist in Vietnam, because I think we as Vietnamese, we should become more open up and take some new cultures. As you can see, in my opinion, America is one of the best countries in the world because they open up themselves to trade and take in some new culture. Make them become a place where people want to come and work there, like American dreams. If we open up our countries and trade, work with Western countries, there's no doubt that we could become richer and richer every day.
Okay, thank you guys. Now please relate your conclusion to the principles of economics.
Okay, from the consumer's viewpoint, the cost of going to McDonald's surmount the benefit, whereas it is opposite for local Vietnamese food. Benefit is that McDonald's products are satisfactory enough to make people full and joyful. However, the cost is that having to go there could take longer than going to local foods, which makes it less convenient. Also, consumers will spend a lot of more money compared to local foods. From my experience being obese, thinking of the future consequences that I might be overweight, I have a negative incentive that I should not eat McDonald's because it will make me fat and unhealthy. I also have a positive incentive that if I don't eat McDonald's, I can maintain my current body and be healthier. Thinking of this risk that might gain, further expansion should stop.
And me, as a 15 years old point of view and a consumer, I think McDonald's could be a factor for our country to improve the economics. And why I believe so is because McDonald's is a very famous fast food brand that you can find over 100 countries in the world. With McDonald's, we can pull some more foreigners and visitors to come to our country. Maybe McDonald's is a bit expensive than street food, but paying $29,000 for a burger, I think why we not should try that. All I want to say here is McDonald's should stay in Vietnam and cooperate with Vietnam. It can benefit both of the brand and also Vietnam. If McDonald's continue to cooperate, it will become more famous and add more profit to itself. And Vietnamese will have a quality fast food brand. But to keep McDonald's running in Vietnam, we need to make people believe that McDonald's is better than all the street food and junk food.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Is there anything else you want to say?
Alright, in conclusion, in short, I just want to state back my opinion that McDonald's should continue its business for its certain benefits, such as expanding national growth and at the same time giving consumers more opportunities and more choices in the market. And it's been a great time with me, and thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You are welcome. Now, if you want to check out the more detailed infos about this interview, you can go up to my website, But for now, this is the latest episode of Economisters. And remember, if you have anything about economy you want to ask, just remember, we're the talking point, we're the experts, we're the Economisters. Thank you for watching.